guys, Emily here with Modern Vegan, and today I'm going to make some biscuits and gravy for dinner. Let's do this. All right, so I'm doing this in a food processor just because it's easier, but I've got 3 cups of all-purpose flour in here. I've got some baking powder, about 1.5 tablespoons because we want to get a good rise out of these, and some salt and some vegan butter. You can also use coconut oil if you don't want to use vegan butter, but I just like a good fluffy buttery biscuit, so that's what we're gonna do. So we're just gonna chuck that all in to the food processor. Sorry about Haley's butt in the corner. And we're gonna blend that up, and then we're gonna add the rest of our ingredients and mix it up and drop them on a pan. I'm actually just gonna blend together real quick the flour, baking powder, and salt just to get it well combined, and then we'll add in the butter. Okay, pulse it. Okay, all that's well combined, and now we're gonna add in our butter. And we're gonna put the lid back on and spin it again. So, as you can see, it's getting a little bit crumbly, kind of sticking together. Got that butter all kind of flaky throughout there, so that's good. So now we're gonna put it in a mixing bowl, and we're gonna add 2 cups of soy milk, and we're gonna add about 1 teaspoon or so of apple cider vinegar. And the apple cider vinegar is going to help the baking powder activate, so it'll get kind of a little fizzy. It's like science. But anyway, it's gonna help us get even fluffier, buttery, delicious biscuits. So let's do that. All right, now that we have our flour, baking powder, and salt and vegan butter mixture all combined, we're gonna put that in a different bowl and add apple cider vinegar. It's gonna help activate the baking powder so we can get our really good fluffy, crumbly, buttery biscuits. Start to kind of look something like this, and you'll just keep mixing until it's all well combined. And we're gonna call these like a drop style biscuit, where we're just gonna plop a bit onto our baking pan. Oh, I forgot to turn on my oven. Hold on one second. All right, so preheat your oven to 450. All right, these are looking pretty good. They're getting sticky. That's what we want. Let's get it all combined, and then we'll put them on our pan. So here we have one of these silicone mats, just so they don't stick, but it really doesn't matter. They're not gonna stick, most likely, on our baking sheet. And I'm just gonna use a spoon, and I'm gonna spray it with some non-stick cooking spray, so that way I can easily scoop out the size of the biscuits and then plop them down on the pan. Our oven is preheated to 450, so we're gonna put these in for about 15 to 20 minutes, but we'll check and I'll let you know what the final temp or final time ends up being. So while we've got the biscuits in the oven, we're gonna go ahead and make our gravy. And so first what I'm gonna get started with is about a heaping tablespoon or so of vegan butter. We're gonna get that melted down, and then we're going to add in a few of our spices. We've got some garlic, onion powder, sage, thyme, black pepper, and salt. And I'm also adding in, this is just, I crumbled up vegan sausage, breakfast sausage. I believe this is Morningstar brand, but I just crumbled up 3 of the patties, and I'm gonna add that in just because I like a little bit of texture in my gravy as well. So our butter is melting. And I'm gonna go ahead and add in our spices so they can kind of toast together. And I'm just gonna be shaking these in, but probably a ½ teaspoon or so of each. We're just doing it even across the board just to make it easy. So we're just getting these spices toasting with the butter here. These are just kind of our sausagey flavors. I'm gonna add just a little bit. I've got about 2 cups of soy milk here. You could use unsweetened almond milk. You could use whatever kind of unsweetened milk that you like. But I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of this. We can get this combined and make our, I don't know if you call it a roux, a bechamel, a roux. We're gonna add the flour So that way it'll thicken our gravy. That's what we're gonna do. So we're just gonna add a little bit at a time. It starts to look crumbly, don't worry. So this just kind of allows the flour to get a little bit toasty, it gets a little bit sticky, and that's what's gonna make our gravy nice and thick. So I'm gonna go ahead and add in the rest of our soy milk so we can get all this well combined. So I've been whisking, but we just wanna make sure we get rid of all of the clumps. So you don't wanna bite into a clump of flour. I'm gonna allow this to thicken before I mix in our sausage because it's already cooked and it's not really a greasy sausage of any kind. It's, I think it's made of like quinoa and oats actually, but it just gives you that kind of breakfasty flavor. So I'm gonna crank the heat a little bit, bring this to a simmer, and allow it to thicken. All right, so it's only been about a few minutes, maybe 4 or 5 minutes, and this is already starting to thicken up real nicely. Got a nice white gravy. So now that we've got this nice and thick, I'm gonna go ahead and add in our vegan sausage, breakfast sausage. Just get that kind of combined. We really like this one place when we go to Austin called Biscuits and Groovy. They've got a food truck and they have 2 food trucks or a restaurant. They've got a restaurant and a food truck. I'm not sure. But every time we go to Austin, we usually have to stop by Biscuits and Groovy because Tanner's gotta have his fix. He loves biscuits and gravy. So we're making this tonight for Tanner, Mr. Modern Vegan. All right, this is getting nice and thick, so I'm gonna take it off the heat. I might actually add a little bit of milk actually. It got a little bit thicker once I added in that sausage. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more soy milk just to kind of thin it back out. I mean, this is pretty good, but that looks about good to me. And I waited to add my salt until after I added in the vegan sausage just because I know it's typically a bit salty, so I didn't want it to be over salted. So I'm salting now. I've tasted it and I think it needs just a little bit. You could also do liquid aminos or soy sauce if you wanted, but I'm just using some pink sea salt. Let's check our biscuits. So they're starting to get brown on the tips, but I think I want them just to get a little more color on the tops before we take them out. So I'm gonna do about 2 more minutes. All right, so the biscuits look good. Woo! Light brown on the bottom, that's what you want. A little bit of brown on the top. Looking good, looking good. All right, we're gonna let them cool for just a minute. We're gonna get our plates. We're gonna top them with gravy. We're gonna have dinner. Breakfast for dinner. Fluffy, warm, buttery, vegan buttery. Open big. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe video and I'd love for you to give it a try. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Please subscribe to our channel. We'd really appreciate your support. Give us a thumbs up and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
This is just a little bonus. You went through all the work and made the biscuits. So now you can have biscuits for dinner or for breakfast and dessert. I like to put a little maple syrup on the biscuit for a sweet treat. Quick tip, top tip.
Pro tip.
Pro tip. I'm sure everyone does this, but it's my fave and it's delicious. What I say all the time.